I thought I loved that sound. I thought I loved this drone. I might still love this drone. But let's talk about it because it almost ruined my trip. I don't normally start videos like this, but let's get into it. All right, so first and foremost, welcome to Creative Tech Lab. My name is Leo. This is a YouTube channel to accompany our website, creativetechlab.com, where we do talk about all things creative, specifically right now, run and gun videography, some audio engineering, some music production, a little bit of everything that is creative and that goes through my mind as creativity. So if it is that you're into anything creative, definitely go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the notifications button. There's a lot more content coming, so I would greatly appreciate that. But today we're talking about the Mavic Air. We're supposed to be talking about, is the Mavic Air still worth it? And I will have to update that thought process pretty soon. Today we're talking about how the Mavic Air kind of ruined my vacation both in Singapore and in Bali just a few weeks ago. Here is why. All right, so as you can imagine, we're going to Singapore, we're going to Bali. I'm just excited to be there, but I'm equally excited to see, especially a year removed from the Amalfi Coast video. I've learned so much from all the different YouTubers on the internet that I'm so ready to go and shoot this trip. I've been looking forward to all year, and drone footage is a big part of capturing a cinematic video. And even when you're just there, like you just want to capture some drone footage, right? So I had some specific shots that I wanted to get, particularly of the Marina Bay Sands and then the gardens by the bay. Those were the two shots that were definitely the most problematic. So we get to the Marina Bay Sands on the first day, we get early check-in, we go straight to the infinity pool. We ask, is it possible to fly off the roof? They say, absolutely not. You do not want to fly off this building. Now you can fly around the Marina Bay, not a problem, capture shots of the building. You just can't do it off the building. No problem. It would have been better. I wanted to get one going over the infinity pool, right? But I wasn't sure about like if you're able to fly that high. No problem. Look up the rules. I think it was about 200 feet, which is key to keep in mind. So the first day I get the drone up, I'm in the Marina Bay Sands, and it is just giving me all type of connection problems. I've seen people have problems with connections before. Maybe I just haven't flown my drone enough in too many different scenarios, but I've never had this much image transmission problems while using the drone. Like I'm talking every time I'd get like maybe like 150 feet away, like I'm dropping signal, I'm losing image transmission. And then not only am I losing image transmission, one of the things that I ended up finding out, like if you get close enough to the Marina Bay Sands, like you could still be at least from what I saw on the drone, legally like 200 whatever meters, feet, whatever the actual thing is. Especially if you launch from the bridge by the gardens by the bay, you could get up pretty high and still be within the legal rules from where you're standing. I got the drone up that high to go over the Marina Bay Sands, flew the drone over it, flew it back, and it didn't record. So not only was it giving me bad signal in between the phone and the drone, but it actually just wasn't even recording to the memory card. Like, I don't think you understand how distraught I was when I finally went to watch back the footage and it just wasn't there. Like, to get the drone up, and I guess technically, legally, at least on the app, it said that I was within the range that I was supposed to be in terms of height. To fly it over the Marina Bay Sands, I wasn't sure about my composition or anything because I couldn't see anything, but to have absolutely nothing, distraught. So then the second shots that I wanted to get, I was like, okay, I gave up on that. I went over to the gardens by the bay behind the Marina Bay Sands in Singapore, and I went to go fly, and again, I'm not even getting a couple hundred feet away before I'm starting to lose image transmission. I didn't want to do anything spectacular there either. I wanted to do a small push in, a pull out, and maybe a rotate, and then a top down, just going over the gardens by the bay. Couldn't really get it. So I got some usable stuff in Singapore, enough to probably put in the video. That's still coming together, the Singapore video. Mainly that's around the RX100 shots, but there will be some drone shots sprinkled in there, and they literally will have to be sprinkled in because I don't have that many. So then we leave Singapore, we get to Bali, we're trying to fly the drone again. I went online to look at a few things. I wasn't able, the internet connection wasn't great in terms of downloading the desktop version, which I've never heard of this before, but I guess after doing a little bit more research, I've now heard of if you update the firmware using the desktop as opposed to doing it over the air during Wi-Fi, it's supposed to be better for the drone. Anyway, the very first day that we're in Bali, or the first full day that we're in Bali, we spent the day hiking waterfalls, and it was also one of the days that I was most looking forward to using the drone. And of course, this time it actually wouldn't even get up in the air. It kept on giving me vision. It didn't even say vision censored, it just said vision, something was yellow. It would only go so high up in the air and then it wouldn't go again. Again, at this particular point in time, I had checked, before I left the house, I had checked to see if all the sensors were good. It was showing that the sensors were good. And the only thing they would ask me to do from time to time is calibrate the compass. I guess I could take a little bit of responsibility here in that, like, we're in a new country, and when we got to Bali or Indonesia, I didn't calibrate all the sensors, but all the other sensors were showing good. It didn't ask me to calibrate them, so I didn't think that I needed to. Then we got out in the field, and I actually couldn't even get it up in the air. Literally, it would go probably about 15 feet in the air and no higher. All right, so yeah, so then another day that I was really looking forward to getting some dope drone shots was absolutely lost as well. No drone footage from that particular day. Eventually, I did calibrate all of the sensors, and it was able to at least start getting up into the air, but then I kept on having range issues no matter where I was. Now I will say, maybe saying that it completely ruined the vacation is a little hyperbolic. There's a lot of places that I couldn't go in with the drone, like at the beach clubs and a couple different other places. I didn't really get to fly it, but after having so many range issues, I wasn't even really motivated to fly it as much as I did before. So yeah, so verdict's still out on how I feel about this particular drone. I actually really like it. The compactability, the form factor, everything. The image quality I still like, especially during the daytime. We just need to see if it's this particular drone and just see what it is. If not, I'll be sending this one back to DJI and getting a new one. Knowing DJI, they'll probably have a new product out by then. However, by the time you see this video, I would have already have shot. A friend of mine tasked me of shooting an event for her, and drone footage is gonna be a small mix of that. So I'll able to see if I can actually fly my drone. It won't be in a city area, it'll be out at Lake Lanier. So we'll see how that goes, and then that will help me form my opinion on whether I'm going to send it back to DJI. The other thing that I would say, aside from the firmware update from the desktop DJI Assistant, I didn't know, so the Mavic Air comes with the connection from here that goes down to the phone. I didn't even know, you may not know this either, that you could connect down here. So I bought a cable to connect down onto the phone. We'll also see how that works on Saturday, and we'll give you guys an update. So stay tuned. Again, thank you for watching. This is Creative Tech Lab, where we do talk about all things creative: video production, audio engineering, graphic design, anything creative. So I don't know if you like this video, or if you've had range problems with the Mavic Air, please drop a comment down below, and then I will catch you in the next one. I'll do an update to let you know how things went at the lake and see if we're able to capture the boat and get the shots that we needed. And then look out for a whole bunch of other things related to the RX100, how to be cinematic, how to edit in iMovie and Final Cut Pro, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.